It's Neil. And in this episode, episode number 9, I want to talk to you about durable items. Now, I already have a video for this for 164, but we're going to update it to 172 from the ground up. What are durable items? Durable items are ones that when you put in a crafting bench, they only have a limited number of uses. Some examples of these, if you remember Red Power 2, great mod, there was a handsaw in there, right? You would use it so many times, and then once it was used up, you'd have to make another one. IC2 is now employing durable items to the extent of hammers and cutters to make plates and wires. We're going to do something along those same lines. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a washer, pretty much, for a component. We're going to make a washer, we're going to hammer it out using a hammer that we're going to create, and we're going to have a punch that we use to punch the hole out in the middle, and then we have our washer. So let's get started. Let's jump into Eclipse, and I'm not gonna use the code from the old mod. We're just gonna do this straight up from the beginning. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create the items that we're going to use. Since my tin cog is kind of along the same lines as what we're going to do here, we're going to make an item iron washer, like so. And then we're also going to make a couple of other items. Specifically, I'll keep these up here with these. So we are going to make a item iron hammer, and we are going to make an item iron a punch. That's right. So we're going to hammer out an iron ingot, and then we're going to use a punch to punch the hole out. But before we have a washer, we're actually going to have, I didn't consider this, item iron, we'll call it a disc, like so. So let's initialize these bad boys. We have the washer, the disc, the hammer, and the punch. So, item iron washer equals new NC items. Whoop, 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 whoop. Set unlocalized name. What is this going to be? Iron washer, of course. Next, we're going to have the item iron disc, new NC items dot set unlocalized name, and this, of course, will be just an iron disc. Now, what we're going to be doing with these, with the item iron hammers, they're each going to have their own class. So this will actually be iron hammer, and we'll come back to this in a second, but unlocalized name, iron hammer, and we're going to do the same thing with the punch. Iron punch, new iron punch. And the reason why we want these to have their own class is because there are specific properties that we're going to be giving these. So the first thing we'll do is we'll create the class for the iron hammer. And we're going to put this under our items class. Booyah, like so. And let's get this bad boy made. So iron hammer is actually going to extends item. We're going to import that, and then we're going to do our constructor. Oh, I guess it doesn't want one. That's okay. We'll type one. Public iron hammer super this dot max stack size is going to be equal to 1. So this, it's like going to be like a sword, right? You can't have like 8 swords all in one. You can only have them in individual stacks of 1. That's pretty much what we're saying. We're going to set our max damage, so this dot max is not appearing. Where is it? Set max damage. Oh boy. Set max damage. Read your notes, dude. And we're going to make that 64, meaning that we can use it 64 times before it breaks. And then this we are going to set no repair, meaning that we cannot repair it in an anvil. And last but not least, of course, we are going to set this dot set our creative tab neocraft tab. Pretty straightforward. Now the next thing that we're going to do, of course, is we need to come down here and do our texture. At side only, side dot client, public void register icons, and we are going to reference icon register, and you've seen me do this before, so no big deal. This dot item icon. Get our imports out of the way. Goodness. This dot item icon equals icon register dot register icon neocraft dot mod ID plus this dot get unlocalized name dot substring 5. Voila, iron hammer is done. Now what we need to do is we'll come back, we're going to create the iron punch, and we're going to do the same thing that we did with this last one. So we're going to put this in items. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to copy and paste all of this and put it in our iron punch. We're going to rename the type to iron punch. Pretty straightforward. It's going to have a max damage of 64, only stacks, one at a time, no repair. It's going to be in our own custom tab. The iron punch and the iron hammer are done. We have our iron washer and our iron disc are done. There's actually one thing that I need to do, and so we're going to come in here to our items. So I went through and created these textures in advance, need to do is make a disk, because I did not make a disk. So this is going to be pretty easy. Just to make our disk, we're just going to fill in our iron washer, and then we're going to save that as iron disk. Voila, like so. Alright, now just to verify, let's go ahead and jump in and make sure that our items are all there. So, still got our manganese cooking with the tree pitch. That's good. So let's look in our tab. We are not seeing any of them. You know why we're not seeing any of them? Because we didn't register them. Good grief, Nathan. Nathan. By the way, Neil is my handle. Nathan is my name. You'll hear me refer to myself as both, so either way. Item iron washer. Yeah, we're going to do this. Get this out of the way. Oh, you know what else we got to do? Something I never do. Item dot iron washer dot name equals iron washer item. We're going to do the same thing we did last time. And our hammer. And our punch. Now let's jump in. Voila. Iron washer, iron punch, iron hammer. Let's fix this iron punch. Texture. Because I kind of derped up on it, didn't I? Needs to be transparent. Take out all these little white bits. Almost done. There we go. There's that, 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 that. Save. Okay. We'll reload this real fast. Single player, back into here, inventory, next page. So there we've got our stuff, right? Now, so we'll take a couple of iron hammers, and I'll show you some of these properties that we looked at. You cannot take one and put it with the other, right? You can with the tin ingot. Its max stack size is 64, but this max stack size is 1. However, the other items that we created, the discs and the washers, can be, right? Their max stack size is 64 by default, so it's not really a big deal. for those. Same with the punch. The punch can't be dropped on top of the punch. So, let's make this happen, right? So what do we want to do? We want to be able to take an iron ingot, and we want to put one in here, and we want to be able to hammer it down and have it pop out with one of these discs. And then we will take a disc in here, and we will use the punch, and it will punch out a hole. Pretty straightforward. And these will have durability that will go down as we use them. So, what we need to do next is make a crafting handler, and then we're going to build some recipes. So, our crafting handler, we are going to come into our nope, we want this one. And so there are recipes. We are going to do fml common handler dot instance dot us dot register new crafting handler. We're going to import this bad boy, and we're going to create this class, which we'll come back to in a little bit later. This will actually go in our handler class. So actually no, we don't need to come back to that later. We're going to do it right now. Right meow. Public class. We are going to have an @subscribe event. We're going to import that. Subscribe event. Back to that. Public void on crafting item crafted event. We're just going to call it event. Alright, let's see here. Let's go ahead and import this bad boy and get started. So, final I inventory and craft matrix is going to equal null for starters. We'll import our I inventory. And let's do loop 4. Int I equals 0. I less than event.craftMatrix.getSizeInventory I plus plus. So really what we're doing here is we're checking all of the slots, right? And what we're going to do is if event dot craft matrix dot get stack in slot does not equal null. Get a phone call. We can go ahead and ignore that. So if that slot does not equal null, then what we're going to do is we are going to check and see if it's one of the items that we want to use, right? So we will start out with the first one. Let's make some space. Item stack, and we're just going to call this item 0 equals event.craftMatrix .get stack in slot I. So if the item does not equal null and it equals .get too many item 0 get item, and that item equals our hammer. What we want to do is we are going to say item stack k equals new item stack neocraft spelled correctly dot item iron hammer comma 2 comma item 0 dot get item damage plus 1. So really what we're saying is if we go through and we find that item, we're going to use it, we're going to add a damage to it every time it's used. What we also need to do here is we need to specify if k dot get item damage is greater than or equal to k dot get max damage, right? So if it's equal to or greater than or equal to that damage, what we need to do is we need to get rid of it. We need to delete it. We're all done. K dot stack size equals that, with stack size being case. Whew. Okay, and then we will say event dot craft matrix dot set inventory slot contents I k, like so. And it seems to think that I'm missing something down here. Delete this token. So, this is how we will take the damage off of our hammer. Now what we want to do is we actually want to do another one of these. So that opens. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. I think we can take this and we can copy and paste it down here. is we're actually going to change this to item 0, item 1. And item 1, we're going to change this to our punch. So that way we're kind of just getting both of these out of the way here. And item 1. Sweet. So crafting handler's done. Next thing we need to do is the recipes. So that way when we're actually putting the punch or the hammer in to our crafting table with our other items, it actually knows what to do with that stuff. So let's create those right now. Recipes. I'm going to come down a couple and we're going to say game registry, spell it right, dot add recipe. It's going to be a new item stack, and the first one is going to be our item iron disc. And let's say that we get 4 of these out of 1 ingot. So this is going to be a new object, and this is going to look a lot like how do you say, the other recipes that we've done. We're going to keep it pretty small and simple here. So what we'll actually have is we're just going to say I for that, and then H for that. So we just want I and H next to her. What is I? I is going to be items dot iron ingot. Got to try to remember exactly what that is, because last time it was ingot iron. And H is going to be our item iron hammer, like so. But this isn't going to work, right? And I'll tell you why. Because when we go to try to use it, we'll only be able to use it once. It won't work for lower durabilities. So what we have to do is actually say that we want this to be a new item stack. Item iron hammer, comma 1, comma or dictionary dot wildcard value and like so. So now we're going to come down and we're going to do our other one for our punch, game registry dot add recipe new item stack item iron washer, and this will be a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm thinking here, so we'll just do that. And we're going to have new object, and again we're going to keep this fairly simple. We're going to have our disc right next to our punch. So we are going to say that D is going to equal item iron disc, and P is going to be again our new item stack item iron punch, not the hammer, comma 1, comma or dictionary dot wildcard value. Close that up. Like so. So let's give it a whirl and see what we have. So we should be able to put an ingot with our hammer, get back 4 discs. Try that first. So, we will put in our hammer with our ingot. We get 4 discs, and it used the whole item. Well, that's not right. What's going on here? I'm missing something. Okay, so here's the deal. In your crafting handler, we need a subscribe event. That's what makes it all happen. So, one of the things that I tried when we first did this is it would come back with an error. And now it's not. So, I've imported it. Take a note of this import right here. And if you have to manually type it in, go ahead and do so. Just pause the video. Type that in, and then what we can do, save it. Let's go ahead and jump into Minecraft and we'll test it out. I've already been doing some testing in here, so one of the things that you'll actually see is we take our hammer like so. I have discs everywhere. Now, you'll see that our durability is now 63 to 64. So if we actually put some more up here, you'll see that durability going down. Then what we can do is we can take these up here and our punch, we can start making our washers, and you'll see the durability of those going down as well. Now to do the durability, I think it's F3 at H, like so, turns it on and off. So F3 and H, and I think you have to be out in this screen. F3 and H, turn F3 off, and then you'll should actually see the durability. There you go. Durability. So that it is. Durable items. Sorry for the long episode, but I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Like, subscribe, and comment if you need any help, and I will see you next time.